All right, update. So, yep, it looks the same, but I've spent nearly 6 hours on this thing today. Um, so job's done. So did some little bit more body work on the back. So I just got a little bit more to clean up on that. So that's just about done. They're all pretty smooth as I can get. And that bit down the bottom there, I've still got to get that done. So that's been all body work. I've just got to get the sander to it and get it flat. So that was one job. So the boot thing on the steering arm, that's done, or the steering rack boot, whatever they call it, that's done both sides. That's a pretty easy job. There's a bloke on YouTube that shows you how to do them. It's a 2 minute, like probably half an hour all up, but yeah, it's pretty easy. So yeah, power steering line was done. So yeah, that's all been replaced, nice newy, no leaks. There's the bracket down there, pretty easy to get to, just one bolt. And you just take the bracket off with the hose and then put the bracket back on with the hose and then just lift it up from underneath and then put the bolt back in. Not difficult, and it's the top one on top of the rack anyway. So again, not difficult to get to. Probably half-hour job by the time you muck around with that bracket. It's a bit of a pain because it's just from awkwardness more than anything. But yeah, the hose is good. No leaks in there at the moment. So, righto, what else? Right, so, did the valve cover gasket that's been replaced. And I tidied it up too, of course. While it's off, you'd be silly not to pressure clean it and give it a bit of a once over. So it's nice and shiny now. So I replaced the rest of the plug leads, so they're all the same color now and they're all the same batch. So that's done. And I found that doing the plug leads isn't as bad as it looks. You use one of these tools. Very easy to do. So you just use that to lift up and push back down. It's actually quite easy. And then you put your hand in there and you use that from the top, and then you lift up and down. It's quite straightforward job, to be honest. Right, so power steering's done, valve cover done. Okay, so I flushed all the fuel out, probably put 5 litres, 6 litres of fuel flushed all the way through, and it was feral, it reefed. Not good fuel. Oh yeah, transmission gasket's done too. I've got a service kit for it and a trans gasket, so that's done. I don't know whether it's all fixed, but it's anyway. At least that'll stop it leaking. So I cranked it after I did the fuel flush. It started no worries on aero start, runs fine on aero start, and it still wouldn't run on fuel. So there was fuel going all the way up to it. Checked everything, fuel going up to it, fuel pressure all on the line. Everything was good, and just would not run on its own fuel. So I pulled the injectors out, and guess what? There is new fuel coming from those injectors. So there's something in the electronics is stopping the injectors firing. I don't know, I'll have to have a look at the book. But I've got the smart lock bypass in there, so I don't know whether that's tied into injectors or not. I haven't really looked into it, any fault finding yet. So you've also got the BCM thing, that the BCM bypass too. So I just don't know what could be causing the injectors not to fire at the moment. I'm going to do some fault finding, a bit of reading on that one. So it runs beautiful on aero starts, runs good, very nice. Also, oil pressure's good. I checked it, it's on 5. And also, ironically, the bloody alternator's good. So pumping out 14 volts, even though it's been covered in oil from the power steering leak. So that's good. So other than the bloody injectors, this car should run and drive, assuming that there's nothing else untoward with warped heads or the transmission's fried, but I don't think so. I mean, the reason it stopped was from lightning. So I don't know. I don't have an answer on that one. So as you can see, I'm still waiting for the coolant overflow bottle, but that's okay. It's a Sunday. It wouldn't have been here since the last update. Yeah, so I just replaced a couple of vacuum lines that will look perished, and just gave her a clean up. So there really isn't much more I can do. So I'll go and do some reading. I'll try and work out what on earth's going on with the injectors. It could be a myriad of things, of course, but hopefully it's just something related to the smart lock or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to have a bit of a read. But everything else seems good. Like, yeah, I was hoping if only these bloody fuel was injectors, I would have been able to do a lap around the block today in this thing, based on the brakes being all right. I haven't tested them yet. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. Body-wise, she's come up good. She's beauty. So I fixed all the front, all the sides, all the body's done. She's good. I've done a rust check underneath. There's no rust, not even a speck of rust under there. Surface bits and pieces. So I gave her a bash of fish oil. And of course, I don't know brakes. I don't know power steering rack, if there's any leaks on that. I don't know anything else. So I've got the rear pinion seal that I've got to do, but I've got one of those all in order. But there's no obvious wheel bearing leaks or anything like that. I've shaken the wheels and front seems good. I've got woggle the back and they seem good. So bearing wise, it seems like a typical 200,000 K car. There's really not much more to it. So yeah, a bit of a bugger about that. Injectors, bugger. Anyway, you have to read. Damn it, I have to read. Righto. Oh yeah, I've got to get the windscreen replaced, which I'll get around to. That'll be pretty well the last job. Okay, that's what I'm up to. Thank you.